What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives back again, and guess what? It's new knife day. Well, it's actually new loaner knife day, which isn't quite as cool, but it's still new knife day. Guys, I get genuinely excited when I have a new knife coming my way. I don't care if it's a $10 knife. I don't care if it's a $400 knife. If it's a loaner like this one or something that's going to be in my permanent collection, I'm super excited. In fact, I get so excited I check tracking every 20 minutes just to see if that package has arrived so I can open it up, get it out, look it over, get it in my hand, put it in front of the camera, and talk about it. Now, that aside, this little montage of Wee Knife stuff was sent to me by my good friend Zelric. Now, if you haven't checked out his channel, I will put a link to it in the description box below. I highly suggest that you do so because he's awesome. He's putting out tons of content right now, and it's good. I mean, there's knife discussions, knife news. I mean, if you want stuff about heat treating blades, sharpening stuff, production blades, blade show, anything, he's kind of got a video on it. So thanks for that, Zelric. I really appreciate the Wee Knife hat. Can't go wrong with some knife swag, and there's a little Wee Knife catalog in there. But we're here for what's inside this little pouch here. Now, with this unboxing video, I want to keep it fairly short, sweet, and to the point. I'll go over the specs, the stats, the weight, all that kind of stuff in the review itself, because I don't want to bog this video down. I want this to be kind of just an initial impressions and what I think about it as I take it out of the pouch. Now, there is a plan for this knife, and I'll let you guys know that at the end of the video. So, like with any Wee knife, you get the pouch, which is lined with some soft faux fur-like material, and you get your proprietary hardware. They have the stars on their knife for their hardware. Wow, it's trouble getting that word out. You get the tools to actually disassemble and reassemble and maintain your knife, which is cool. So I do not mind at all that this knife has proprietary hardware. But guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I snuck a peek at this knife already today, and I involuntarily said one word. And that word was damn. And in fact, I posted this knife on Instagram today, and I kind of included that in my little description of that photo. That's just kind of came out. I took this knife out, and I was, first of all, I had no idea it was this large. It's not comically large, but it's a big knife. I think it's 9.5 inches, not to throw all the specs at you, but you guys know that the Cold Steel Spartan is a big knife, and I think these are comparable in length. I mean, obviously the Wee knife is a little less exaggerated, a little less over the top, but it's a big blade. So after I got over the initial honeymoon phase, I dug a little deeper, and this knife is pretty freaking sweet. So let's go over it from tip to end real quick. You can see here kind of a standard looking drop point blade. Got 3 kind of aesthetic holes drilled in there, a nice satin finish on it, a fuller that runs the length of the blade. And honestly, I'm not too familiar with fullers. I don't think they're going to serve a functional purpose, especially in a pocket knife, but it definitely looks the part. You do have a swedge up top where that light's hitting, and it did come absurdly sharp, I can tell you that much. That looks like, and that is a flat grind, I believe. Good looking blade. I mean, I don't think it gets a whole lot more utilitarian than this. A nice flat portion, a little bit of belly, and a fairly strong tip. I think I can still get some delicate work done, but it's definitely strong. The blade thickness is nice and stout. Should be for a blade of this size, and I think of this caliber, if you will. But something interesting to note here is that this is Bowler's M390 steel. And correct me if I'm wrong, I've had so many knives come in and out of my life, but I think this is my first experience with M390 blade steel, which is, I think, considered by most to be kind of the top of the game right now. It's kind of good at everything. Corrosion resistance, wear resistance, edge retention. M390 is kind of the king of pocket knife steels at the moment. Now, of course, you can make an argument for all sorts of steels, but I hear it all the time. It's M390 or bust if you want a really high-end knife, which this Wee knife 614 is, a 614. Now, if you're not too fond of the satin finish, I've already looked. The 614 series comes in a variety of both blade finishes and handle colors. This is kind of the plain Jane version. I mean, you got a kind of a stonewashed titanium look with a satin blade. Now, honestly, if I were to buy this knife I'd probably go with this coloration just because I like the industrial look. But let's get into the opening mechanism, which of course is a flipper. You see here, jipping on top of that, a pretty neutrally shaped flipper. So you can kind of open it the way you choose. You saw that I just push button it there, and you can light switch it. So works both ways. And in fact, that fuller does, I guess, serve some sort of a functional purpose because you can use it like a thumb hole. You stick your thumb in there, open that up, and you can spider flick it if you are a skilled man, which I probably am not. Oh, there we go. So I like the blade a lot. The opening system is incredibly smooth. I don't even think I need to really say that. You guys can see that and hear it. I mean, so smooth coming out, that big old blade, and then we're nearly dropped shut here. Now I believe, I really should have done my research. Yep, we have a ceramic detent ball and a ceramic ball bearing setup here, making this thing insanely smooth, insanely fun to play with. Now blade centering is perfect. Really tight tolerances on this knife, I can tell. I mean, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for anything to be happening in this knife. Now you can see that the hardware here has a kind of gold anodization. And for some reason, that just looks so good with the theme of this knife. I've seen a lot of WE knives in the past that have lots of purples and blues and greens, and I mean, I like them, but I don't know if they're necessarily my style. I guess it depends on the particular model, but this kind of more basic look, the stonewashed titanium with those gold stars, I think looks awesome. So here's your pivot, that cool WE logo on there. Here's your backside, star pivot. Got, it looks like you have 2 body screws on here. This is, of course, titanium with a titanium frame lock with a steel lock bar insert, steel on steel contact, and insanely strong lockup, which is a point of discussion later on in the video. Now, something I've already noticed, and it kind of blew me away, is how much skeletonization. Wow, that's a hard word, I guess, today. They skeletonized the crap out of these handle scales, guys. I mean, I wish I could really get that light in there. I've got a flashlight around here. I should. I'm an EDC nut. Where did I set it? Here we go. Oh, light's right here. There it is. Look at all that skeletonization, guys. They really took a ton of that titanium out, reducing this weight. And that's the second thing that came across my mind after, damn, this thing is light for its size. There's cutouts both on the exterior and interior of this titanium, just really lightening that weight. Lockup is nice and early, and this is my favorite part of the knife so far, is that kind of cut in the lock bar, allowing your thumb to dig in there and that release that with ease. I mean, the lock bar tension is nice, and I wouldn't say it's soft, but it's very easy to manipulate, which is awesome. I love the milling that they've done on there, just a little bit of texture. Love that. Like I said, I think this knife looks very industrial with these cuts. I don't know, that's just me. But I like them. They're nice. They're very well done as far as a machining standpoint goes. All the edges, of course, are nice and chamfered off. I mean, this thing feels awesome in your hand, and it's large. It just feels like it gets so much work done. You guys know that I have fairly large hands, and there's a whole lot of handle to spare on this one. Thickness looks, I mean, fairly standard. Have a titanium backspacer here. I think they kind of want to not fool you, but make you look twice to see if this is an integral construction, which I think is cool. Full titanium backspacer, nicely done clip that just flows very well within design. Kind of inset in there with 1 screw. Tension's great. That is a titanium clip, and I believe this has titanium hardware as well. So all in all, guys, this knife is sweet. I don't know what other word to use other than it feels exceptionally well made. M390 is regarded as a phenomenal steel. I like the blade shape. The handle is huge. There's a ton of room. Some decent jipping on top. I mean, it just feels like you can get a whole lot of work done. And that is not coincidental to me looking at this knife whatsoever, because Zell wants me to test this knife. And I'm going to film it and upload it. So if you guys are curious as to how a WE knife actually holds up, I think everyone knows that their levels of fit and finish are on par or better than the price point that they're coming in at. The materials are great. Let's see how they hold up. Now, Zell gave me full permission to hard use this knife. Now, of course, I'm not going to abuse it, but I think I want to run it through the gauntlet of, let's say, an everyday carrier's ideal day where they get to use their knife over and over again, meaning that I'm going to cut boxes, paracord, food. I mean, I'm going to whittle some. I'm going to do all sorts of things with a knife in a short span. See how that edge holds up. See how that lock holds up. I think it's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that. And of course, I said I wanted to make this video short, sweet, and to the point, but I'm excited. And I want you guys to be excited too, because this 614 is definitely worth sharing. So stay tuned for my testing video. I might get around to more of an overview / review where I give some thoughts on it after use. But right now, with some neutral ergonomics, standard, nice looking blade, exceptional action and lockup, I'm excited, guys. So thanks for watching, and remember, have fun with your knives.